Hi, I'm Zach. Welcome to It's Dangerous to Go Alone Drink This, a podcast where I invite my friends to come and discuss our favorite games. Each episode, my guests and I challenge each other to discover or design a drink that we believe encapsulates some essence of the game. Game mechanics, personal tales, and remarkable refreshments are all fair game, so sit back, relax, and have a drink with us. Welcome back once again. So I've made our next round of drinks. As you guys can see, and anyone that's watching us on like YouTube, they do look very similar.
They look exactly the same.
Yes.
There's like
it really just looks like mine is more full.
That's it. Yours. No, I was gonna say yours
I
is
know
a
the
little
differences,
more cloudy, but
and that
I
scares
really don't
me.
Notice it.
I'm scared of mine a little bit.
No, because so off of our rolls, Lhito and I, we both got a 2, so we have the same exact drink.
I mean, we still failed. We just failed
We did
less bad.
fail. So
Should we all clink, or are we starting to dislike one another?
I've hated you from the get-go.
All right, maybe like a little like line clink.
Oh, you didn't talk about the ice.
Huh.
Zachary, what's going on?
Sorry,
over
I took
there?
a sip.
You just had like a questioning face on your.
Oh, now it's hitting.
This isn't bad.
It's like Gatorade.
I don't want to say too much about mine until like you guys talk about your, just because I know what's in mine.
Yeah.
What was your question before?
I just noticed your face. You kind of had like a.
I thought you said something before though.
It was like a questioning kind of like face, and I was like, "Oh, what's going on over there?"
So
booze is hitting.
without giving anything away, mine has more ingredients, just total, than
Okay.
yours does. So it's a little bit. Are you tasting?
Oh,
it?
God.
I'm smelling it.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say
Oh,
you didn't.
I know exactly what's in here. Okay.
What's in it?
Oh, what you took? You took a
little
sip,
sip?
and
Is that tequila?
Actually,
is there
No.
tequila?
there's
in all
tequila
of
in
it?
all of ours.
Ah, yours tastes a lot more tequila.
I also put more in mine.
That
That was
would be why.
part of the punishment.
Okay.
So, yeah. So without saying too much more yet,
Yeah.
mine does have 1 more booze and 2 more ingredients just total. But altogether, they do look pretty similar. Oh, I know what it was. Lhito said something about the ice. I may have brought this up in a different episode, but I don't remember. I have these little like ice molds that make little like cats, and I found that at Target, and
They're
that's really
so
cool.
cute.
Yeah,
I
except
mean, these are ugly, but
yeah, these ones didn't turn out the best, but usually they're really cute.
I don't know. From head on, this looks pretty cute.
Yours is I think the
is
best
that
of
what you
them.
call a cute cat? I
It
feel
just
so
it
sorry
looks
for
like
your
it's
cat.
laying in a little pool with its head like up, and you can see its little ears.
It looked like it drowned 3 years ago in that drink.
Mine,
I mean-
the ears like both broke.
Oh no.
Oh, yours, I will say though, when I put it in was the best, but the ears are the most like exposed part. So when it's in the drink, it melts really fast.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yours was a little bit better than mine, but it still wasn't.
Okay.
Of the 4 cat ice cubes I had, 1 was good, and it ended up in
Okay.
Deidre's. I didn't.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't like plan it. I just grabbed random.
Who's the luckiest?
Anyways,
I
so-
wonder.
Does that count as a luck?
I think that's a luck.
Okay.
That sounds like a luck
Okay.
to me. My cat's been mooning me from the get-go.
Anyways, I will say, so taste-wise, it reminds me of like, I mean, we know that tequila's in it, but it reminds me a little bit of like a margarita, but a margarita
Sure.
with a twist. I don't know what that twist is yet. But
I will also say for people not seeing this, it's in a margarita glass, but I would have put this in a martini glass. We don't own any martini glasses yet. So right now it's in a margarita glass, but I do think it weirdly enough fits a margarita glass better than I expected. I didn't think it would.
Okay.
Lhito, you want to describe the color?
Yeah, okay. Do you know what the color of like a grapefruit looks like when you just peel it open? You see
yeah.
it's like a
Oh.
not quite maroon, but like a darker-ish red orangey thing.
That is a good description.
Yeah, it's kind of there. Yeah.
Okay.
So yours hitting a little hard.
Yeah, so to describe mine a little bit, the first sip, like when you take a sip, first thing you hit is much more like way more like boozy smell to it, and just the flavor instantly is more like alcohol based. And then afterwards, there's this aftertaste that is
You'll describe
way more
later.
sour. There's a reason why, but it's just way like it's like
you
it
said-
hits you with the strong booze, and then it fades into like a really strong sour,
Okay.
and it's not
Interesting.
great. I mean, I don't like hate it, but it's just like it gives me that like guttural reaction of that like like little shiveries down my spine kind of thing, you know.
Okay. Interesting.
scary
I would like to pull another event card.
Did you do the last one?
I might have.
You're
Just someone
selfish.
else.
I mean, go ahead.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. A moment of hope. This is after your terrible drink. Something feels strangely right about this room. Something is resisting the evil of the house. 4.
Catch your breath. Take a moment to rest. Deidra, +1 to any skill you want.
Oh, knowledge.
That's all it was. Lhito, draw the next event.
Fudge.
So
Okay.
there's a few events in here that aren't actually questions. They're just things that happen.
Okay.
So that was one of them. And you got literally the best one. It's you get one, whatever you want.
Cool.
Okay. What the? As you look back the way you came, you see nothing. Just empty fog and mist where a room used to be. 12.
That's weird. I opened it to that page. So these are written across
What the?
two different pages. And I looked at it and I was like, I bet it's that one. And I couldn't remember. What is the most confusing part of the game? Also, -1 knowledge. Because it's so confusing.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's right.
You
My
said what's the most
knowledge.
confusing part?
Confusing part of the game. It might be easier for you to answer because you're newer to the game, but
I guess confusing part for me is almost just like the planning strategy because you don't know if you're gonna be the traitor or not. So it's almost like, are you trying to add more rooms so that you get like more like omens and the chance for a haunt to happen, or are you trying to have more events happen or like try to get more items so that you can try to fight against other people or the traitor or like that stuff. It's just, I think the most confusing part is trying to figure out how you want to play the game, at least from the early on.
okay.
If that makes any sense.
That makes sense. Yeah, like from before the haunt is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Once the haunt happens, I think that's from the 2 experiences I've had.
No, I
that
would
seems
agree.
pretty easy.
I think like all the rules and like the cards and everything are written very, very well, where there's very little that's like confusing about them. Because there's some games where it's like you have a rule in the rule books and then you read like a card later and you're like, oh, these contradict each other. And like some rule books will like get around it just by saying like, oh, a card like takes over or whatever. But like some games that I've played are just like, what the hell do we do? Like you just don't know and you try looking it up or like you have to make a decision as a group or whatever it is. But like Betrayal is very good at like being very clear with the rules and like cards take precedence over rules in the game and like stuff like that. The one thing that I'll say is can be kind of confusing is the rules to a new haunt, like a haunt that you haven't done. I think the first time you do it, not always, but some of them are a little bit more complicated. So it takes a little bit. And I don't want to say anything like bad about it because I think that they're very good haunts. And like if you understand the rules, they're very, very good. It's just learning it the first time sometimes can be kind of hard. Not for all of them, just for a few here and there.
That makes sense.
But that's my opinion.
Okay. For me, it would be like actions. I remember being really confused about like, what could I do? What would cost my turn to do? How much could I do like in a room? And then all of that gets like compounded in the haunt when like the players or the traitor could get different things that they could do. And there's a lot of different things you can do. So there's just a
True.
lot.
True. I do agree with that on, I don't remember what room it is, but, or like there's one room specifically where you get like stuck inside of it and you have to do something to get out of it or to move on to the next room or something like that. I don't remember exactly what it is, but that part, something about it. I think it was like a magician's room or I don't remember.
Where you like gain stats at the end?
No, I don't fully remember, I guess, but
Zach is doing some strange things to our cards.
but
Sorry, I just realized
are
something.
you just
Yeah, what? Oh, okay, keep talking.
okay?
Keep talking.
But
Okay.
I don't remember what it was, but it was like, can I go in that room? Or because like I think like maybe you had like discovered it and placed it down, and then something happened inside of it, and I was like, well, can I go through it to then add off of it? Like I think maybe there might have been like a lock or something on like one of the doors that you then had to unlock, or I don't remember specifically what it was, but something about adding on different rooms can get kind of challenging depending on each room.
That's fair. I think, like, for me, again, I think I've played the game more than either of you two have. Are you okay?
I knew the cat would hate me. I knew it.
Ice moved. So I think that just because I've had more experience with the game, I know how a lot of like the more intricate mechanics work of like the main game itself. And that's why with like the event card things and all of like those types of mechanics, I feel more okay with it. But
That makes sense.
again, that's why to me it's literally just like whatever's new can be confusing. Maybe not, but it might be. Like that's it. But like
makes sense.
it makes more sense because yeah, you guys have more things that are still new or fresh or
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, Lhito, I see you finished your drink. You want to take an omen quick before
Draw an omen and then
you can...
I'll have a event here.
Holy symbol, a symbol of calm in an unsettling world. Suck it.
Nice.
Is that
Secret
luck?
stairs. A horrible creaking sound echoes around you. You've discovered a secret stairwell. 1.
Okay.
Do you have a preference on what floor to explore? Also, +1 speed to me.
Ooh. Okay, so in the base game, there's 3 main floors. There's your main floor, your second floor, and then the basement.
That's... Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't... Because we played the legacy version.
No. So Deidra has only played the expansion because I've played a ton of, well, not only with the expansion, I should say. I've played a ton of the main game, then the expansion came out, then I bought that, and then we played like a ton with the expansion. So I've played a ton of both. So
I didn't
you have
know.
only played with the expansion. That is one
I've
of
only known it. Yeah.
the
I thought
roof
that there
is
was...
one of the things added in the expansion.
Okay.
Yeah.
The fourth.
So wait. So what were you about to say your favorite when you're?
Oh, yeah. So my favorite is probably the basement because you can only get there by like chance. You can't just walk down to the basement from the beginning of the
True.
game.
Yeah, no, because
Yeah.
we've had rooms where like you like fall down into like a hole or something, or
Yeah, that's basically the only way to get to the basement is by misfortune. And then you have to
See-
find your way back up.
and when
And
I was
then she uses her alt to like reduce your armor and.
okay,
Bullet
we're
time.
getting back into leaking. Anyway, I was gonna say, I think for me sometimes the basement has like too many negative effects to it. But I guess that
I think there's
it's-
also
it
a lot
could
of
also-
positives that
I was
you
gonna say,
can find there.
You can, I think, from like personal
Maybe not a
experience,
lot,
it's a
but a
lot
few.
of what I've found is it's just a lot of negative things that happen, or you have to have like certain items or different ways to get out of the rooms in the basement. But also, I know that so many different cards you can place on different levels. So if you're in the basement, you have to have a basement card. So
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's
I
what's
guess I
your
would say
favorite?
that's my least favorite. I guess I kind of like the upper floor. That seems to be the best. Like, I don't know, like variety of like.
Yeah.
You can get like really like bad rooms where, like I was saying, you get like locked in completely, and there's 4 locks on every door.
There are also
And
some
so-
rooms that go to all floors. Like
True.
it can go anywhere. So, yeah.
True, and so I think I guess that just kind of depends on what you draw and what you've placed down and where you place it. But I feel like the upper floor is like pretty okay for me.
It's weird. I have no idea why, but I also prefer the upper floor. There's no reason. I really don't know why. It's just from the beginning I used to always go up, and I don't know why.
Huh. So
it might be, sorry, just like thinking about it, it might be because I've played a lot of characters like in the past that had a lot of high speed, so you can get to the upper floor faster. So strategically, it was like, oh, you explore this because you can't go as far in their first turn. I'll go explore there because I can get there right away.
Yeah,
but like now, I mean, Oxbellos isn't that fast. Like, I mean, he's kind of fast. He's got 4, so he's a decent start, but he's not like. There's some people that are like really fast, really quick, and like so.
Peter Akamoto.
You start with 4 as well.
Yeah, but my first thing is 6. If I get 1 buff,
That's true. Mine goes to 5, and then yeah.
I am speed.
Lightning Queen.
But anyways, yeah, I don't know. It's just top floor or upper floor for some reason, and then it became the roof after the expansion, and I think it's just because I liked going up.
And it adds more variety. And yeah.
Okay.
All right, I just finished my drink, so I'm gonna take a quick omen.
Well, you have like 1 sip left.
I have 1 sip. The cat makes it really hard to get to.
That's right.
I had to like hold it down.
I know. I don't really want to touch the cat.
Anyone want to help me?
All right.
You don't want to pet a cat?
Wait, did you taste it already?
He tasted it. See if you. Yeah. If
Okay,
you don't have to, but if you
I will
want
taste
to,
it because
read the omen.
The crystal ball says hazy images appear in the glass. Ooh.
Wait, do you have 3 omens?
Yeah.
How?
She keeps finishing her drink first.
He also.
You should only have.
No.
I had the holy
No. This
symbol.
is our 3rd drink. We took,
Oh my gosh, it is. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was looking at mine and I had 2. I'm dumb. Sorry.
No,
sorry.
this is your drink.
Yes.
You
No.
have not
You're right. You're
finished
right.
it
You're
yet.
right. You're right.
Okay,
You're
okay.
right. You're right. God, that was so
Booze
dumb.
is hitting him real fast.
Okay, so
Dude,
okay,
this drink is strong.
Going back to the drink itself, I know obviously we finished ours. They were I don't know. I didn't think it was
You
that
haven't
bad.
finished yours yet.
I have
wouldn't
a
say you're in
tiny
my
sip left.
demographic.
Hey, no. Look at yours. You have also some left.
Okay, wait.
Come on, cat.
Take a sip of yours. We'll leave it.
No. I want to explain.
Then you gotta swallow your cat.
Oh,
Don't do it. Don't
please
do it.
don't.
It's a
Swallow
big
that
ice
pussy.
cube. It's for anyone that
like
oh
an
God.
inch and a half thick.
Anyone that can't see it would be one that you would put in like a whiskey glass.
Yeah. I will say, like, honestly, I could drink multiple of these. Like, it was strong enough on the alcohol where you could like taste it, but enough other flavors to cover it up and like I guess make it like sippable and like. I mean, you drink it really fast, but you drink everything fast. So, like for me, for someone who drinks it a lot slower, this was a pretty good like sipping drink that I'm not like I guess like wincing or like perking my lips up at every
I
drink.
would disagree.
Oh no!
Purely because mine is the worst variety. But
And you said okay, so you said for sure that there's more tequila.
I
in here,
will
and
say
you said
your
it's
guys's
sour.
I think is a good sipping drink.
Okay.
I just mine is not because it's specifically unbalanced.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
See, like, I didn't taste any
Here we
booze
go.
in mine until I sipped yours, and I was like, "Oh, there's tequila," and then like I like focused
You can
and I
kind
could
of
tell,
taste it.
a little
Yeah.
bit. So
But
it was pretty like
that's the key is that there was tequila, but
Yeah.
I
It
will
tasted like
mention
Gatorade.
this is a drink that I designed for like myself. The tequila I tried to make it in a way that like it would complement the flavors but not be overpronounced.
Ooh.
I think
And
This
I
guy.
hope that
For
was okay with you guys because you
whatever-
guys had like the
I liked it, yeah.
a version
whatever
that,
you did
that's
for
not
this,
too bad.
I thought was pretty good.
Okay.
And knowing me, tequila turns me into a Spanish warrior. Warrior.
Okay, so obviously you have a lot of your drink left, but okay,
Yeah,
so
I'm gonna sip this kinda slowly.
So
Chuck.
okay,
Chuck,
so we
Chuck,
know there was
Chuck.
we know there was tequila. I could taste like that. You said lemon, didn't you, or was that?
I feel like I said lemon for every drink, so maybe
it's
just
lime
I
every
think-
single time. It's been lime
every
juice
drink.
this entire time.
Apparently, that's just a theme.
They're the
of
same in my
night.
head. I'm Spanish. I don't know. It's in
Okay, wait.
You're Spanish? No, you're not.
No, good.
Spanish warrior.
Here's a good way to determine the difference. Lemon will add more of like just a citrusy kind of flavor. Lime will be more sour. It'll be like a sour citrus.
So
What's the difference?
Lemon is a little. Well, that's the difference. Is lemon is a little sour, but lime is very sour.
which also, fun fact, in America, apparently limes are picked way before they're ripe. So that's why they're always a lot more like sour, tart
Oh, interesting.
Where
I do like the
when
sour, so I'm okay with that.
in
but-
other countries, they're picked at like when they're closer to being ripe, so they have almost more of a closer to lemon taste, or like lemon like sweetness, kind
Okay.
of like
Here's a fun fact. I had always thought, oh wait, shit. Now I'm like double guessing like second guessing myself. I had. I'll drink in a sec. I had always thought that limes were like developed by humans off of lemons.
Yeah.
It's the other way around. Limes and citrons were crossbred to create lemons.
Huh.
Citrons are kind of an in-between between like
Leo
lemon.
does the shock face.
Shocked Pikachu.
Citrons are in between like lemon and like an orange, sort of a in-between flavor.
Okay, with like the sweetness.
Yeah, they're all
tart.
citruses, but it's just
Yeah.
an in between, like a little bit more sweet, little bit sour. But you take that and mix it with something that's very very sour, and you get a lemon, and that's how lemons were developed.
Huh.
And actually, you can use that. Sorry, this is very nerdy and weird stuff I've looked up. You can use that to trace back when the first lemonade was ever made. Because
Interesting.
when lemons were invented.
Yeah. no,
And then
that
on
makes
top of
sense.
that, you can look at like where sugar came from, and then where you can get ice and how it traveled to different like areas and stuff. And so you can trace back like where lemonade originated and like around the same, like around the time period of when lemonade started, because of when lemons were invented or created, and when or where sugarcane and ice could move to back in that same time period.
Interesting.
It's a really weird. Sorry, that's a yeah.
Okay, so while Zachary finishes his drink, Lhito, would you like to pull another event card?
No.
But he will anyways.
Oh, fudge. Contract. Here's a contract for power in return for your soul. Joke's on you, I don't have one.
16.
16.
Oh, yeah, 16.
Sell your soul. -1 sanity, +2 physical. So it's your choice.
I'm gonna be zooming, dude. I'm a freaking ninja.
So for those who can't see it, as we're going through our event cards, obviously, like we said previously, there's post-it notes. Zach is adding pluses and minuses depending on kind of.
Do you want me to explain it?
No, not yet. Not yet. No. Keep that. I'm assuming it has to deal with the last drink. We don't know what the last drink is or how
Wait
it
a minute.
happens.
No.
There's just like I said, I helped kind of design the system of this, but I don't know the specifics. So I think that depending on the pluses and minuses, there's a bunch of different variables of how this last drink could go. And it could be either really good, really bad, medium, iffy. I don't know.
Please tell me every plus is not like a shot in this drink.
We'll find out.
I don't know. Oh God.
So let's rapid fire a few events. Let's go pretty fast.
Let's do it.
Okay. So I got silence. Underground. Everything goes silent. Even the sound of breathing is gone. 18. Okay, well, this is easy. How do you get to the basement? -1 might.
You're welcome.
I know, like I said, I know there's a room that you like basically quote like fall to the.
There's no like guarantee. Well, okay, there's a lot of ways to get to the basement.
Isn't there also
first.
like an elevator or
There's
something?
a magic elevator, but that goes everywhere.
True.
So there's a lot of ways to get to the basement, but from the beginning, there's no way to get there. You have to find it and like fall into it, literally.
Yeah, because you can get to the upper floor because of the stairs. That are
Yeah.
automatically
So in the
placed.
base game, there's, I believe, 3 ways to get there. And then I think the expansion adds 2 more. My numbers might be off, but yeah, it's like you literally have to find your way to the basement. One of them is the coal chute, which is one of my favorite cards because like when you discover the coal chute, and I can't remember if it's like an any floor tile or if it's a ground floor / upper floor tile, or if it's a just ground floor tile. But it when you discover it, whoever first discovers it falls straight to the basement landing, and they're stuck in the basement until they find the basement stairs that let you go back up.
Yes.
Or also Mystic Elevator lets you go
There's a lot of ways to
place.
get back
Yeah,
up. Yeah.
But there's like 2 tiles that you have to find, or an event card that let you back up, as well as finding down. There's like specific ways to do it, which is kind of interesting.
Fun fact, in the Legacy version, it doesn't have the, what would you say, roof or attic that the expansion has. It actually has an outside area.
Oh, that's so cool.
That's separate. So with the roof or attic, it's the same. You can put like second floor panels on the roof or attic, but with the outside, it's only outside panels can go out
that's
there.
really cool.
So it's its whole new biome.
Like gardens and stuff.
Yeah, or
Interesting.
swamps.
Oh.
There's lots of buried cemeteries
All
or
right, we'll have
skeletons.
to play this version.
Oh, I want to buy
at
it
some
so
point.
bad.
I'm a big fan.
Okay.
Deidre, do you want to draw
My
an
turn?
event?
Okay. Let's see here. We have something hidden. There's something odd about this room. But what? It's tickling the back of your mind. 22.
Ooh.
That's a high number.
Do you have a favorite omen or a least favorite? +2 sanity, -1 physical.
I personally do not. I do not have enough memory of any type of omen or anything. And yeah, that specific quality of the game doesn't stick with me in any way. So I cannot speak on that.
Oh, that's fair.
Okay, so a lot of cards blend together in my head, whether they're omens or events or items. But I believe there is some kind of ring that's an omen that can let you
You mean-
attack with your sanity.
The ring?
Oh, yeah, it could just be that.
It
yeah.
might be.
That might be my favorite because that.
You mean the one that says if you attack an opponent that has a sandy trait, you may attack with sandy instead of might?
Yeah, that is possible.
Possible.
We'll put it on the table in the parking lot.
Interesting,
It's up there.
interesting,
Yeah. But that one, yeah.
Okay. Mine is actually the one I have. Sphere.
You've mentioned that before. Yeah.
Partially because of the whole dragon experience.
Yeah.
And also because, so people that don't know the game, this basically, it adds additional dice when you make a might attack. So it goes really, really well with Oxbellows.
Who has a lower might?
Who has a strong might. So
So
if
you
you
get
have a
super-
high might and you're going to attack with that anyways, even if it's a little bit damaged, you still got this crazy high. But then the other thing is because this is just an omen. So if I have an item that lets me attack with other stuff or gives me some other buff, I can use that for my attack instead of this if I'm maxed out on might.
That makes sense.
But it's really, really helpful for literally my starting might is 5. So that, if I gain +1 might, I go to 6 and then I use the spear. Now I'm max. It's I don't know. It's one of my favorites.
Okay.
All right, who drew that?
I did.
event? Okay.
So
I think I drew the one before that, so it's you.
Zach, one more.
My turn. Okay.
And then we'll get on to
Also,
the next drink.
yeah, I will down this right after I do it. Sorry,
chug,
it's
chug,
the main
chug.
reason I can't drink it so fast is it's so sour.
Okay.
And I'll
is
explain
it.
it.
Sour
I only tasted
Okay.
tequila in that, so
I'll
he's weird.
explain it after.
I think it kind of tasted like a tequila shot with the tequila plus it just you bite into a lemon after you're done.
I will say
There's a lot
you
of
bite into a lime.
a
usually.
lime.
I will also say so.
Not
Me
just me.
specifically, I really like the taste of tequila. So this does have more tequila than theirs does, but I don't taste that as much as I taste the other stuff. Just because even my margaritas that I make, I like them a little bit more higher on tequila, just because I
Yeah.
like the taste of tequila in a mixed drink. I don't like it as a shot straight. I like it as a shot if you do the salt and the lime and everything. But I don't like the taste by itself unless it's very, very high end tequila.
Yeah.
But anyways, okay, sorry. That's it.
Do you only like salt with your margaritas?
I prefer salt to sugar.
Sugar?
Some people do sugar.
Yeah.
I prefer the salt, but and sugar's okay. I prefer the salt.
Okay.
Yep. The beckoning. Outside. We must get outside. Fly to freedom. 7. Oh, what's your favorite event? -1 sanity. I want to start real quick because the reason that I picked this card is because that's my favorite event. shoot, I'm at the bottom sanity, so I'm gonna take one knowledge.
Ooh, bum,
He
bum.
won't. What? Oh,
Because if you hit the skull, like I said at the beginning, like we're gonna avoid like dying, quote. So it's gonna go to the same stat group first, and if they're both at the bottom, then it can go to the other.
Shot of Malort. Shot of.
Tell you what,
We don't
if
have any.
if it goes all the way to the very, very, very bottom of all 4 stats, whoever gets there, then you have to take a shot. It probably won't happen,
Yeah,
but if it happens,
Boo.
Ooh, Zachary.
we can do it
I'm
for a
never
future
listening
episode.
to this podcast again.
Anyways, so this is my favorite one because it affects anyone that's in the basement. And I find that interesting because a lot of events affect just the person that pulled that card. Excuse me. But this one, along with other ones, affect multiple people throughout the whole game. So anybody that's in the basement currently. There's another one that I also... Oh, wait. I'm sorry. This is not the basement one. I was looking at a lot of these cards yesterday. This is the one that's the any outside facing window. I double checked the card to make sure.
Yeah.
So this is the one where my second favorite card is the basement one because it affects anyone in the basement. This is the one that affects anybody that's in an outside tile or a tile that like has a window or something that faces the outside. So anybody in one of those rooms has to do like a roll check to make sure that they like pass this event or whatever. But I just find that interesting that it's like, it's not just you, it's anyone. Potentially.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know. Do you guys have favorite events or like, it might just
kind of the same with the omens. I don't have enough knowledge of kind of anything to have memories of for that specific thing, but
I mean, I'm kind of the same way. They're all like the same card to me. But a lot of events come with a die roll aspect where there's good, there's okay, and then there's bad. And I really like the fact that even though you can pull the same event like 3 times, different things can happen to you. And sometimes it's a good thing. Sometimes it's a bad thing. Sometimes Zach is a motherfucking piece of garbage. You know, that's
that
life.
happens.
yeah.
All right.
So on that note, I was gonna say, do you want to?
I finished my
You
drink.
wanna tell us about
I'm gonna
the-
draw my omen and then I'll tell you about the drink.
Okay.
If that's okay.
Yeah.
All right. Madman. He's a companion. A raving, frothing madman. That's it. Okay. So this drink is called the Ancient Horror. Oh my gosh, I just realized when we rolled, I didn't tell you guys what happened. Oh wait, no, I did. Sorry. You guys survived the attack, but got psychological damage. I got physical and psychological damage because the thing smacked me.
If you want to know what happened, just watch any hentai.
Oh god.
Oh my god.
But anyway, so this drink, there were 3 possibilities. There was one where you could escape with like a lighter sentence. No matter what, you were going to take damage. But the very, very highest one, you take the least amount of damage. You guys had the next one, which was slightly worse. The big difference was pretty much the only difference. There were 2 differences, but the biggest difference was yours was made with dark rum. I was going to do light rum if it was the higher one.
Oh,
those were the
okay.
drinks that we tested the other day, and you didn't know like what they were for.
Wait, there's
Okay.
tequila and rum in this?
There's tequila
Whoa.
and rum. So
That's
your
amazing.
guys' drinks are tequila, rum, black currant liqueur, lime juice, and what am I missing? Oh, cranberry juice. Thank you.
That's what it was. Okay.
and
That's like
then
the color too.
mine is the same thing, except it's twice as much lime juice, which is where the sourness comes from. And I also added whiskey, and I also added more tequila.
So you just had a super strong.
So it's
tart
way
drink.
stronger.
Long Island ice margarita.
Yeah, it's like way stronger and really, really fucking sour. Yeah, so not the best.
All right.
Okay.
last drink.
So I'm thinking possibly it might be a good idea before we do the last drink. Rapid fire, like really, really quick. Each of us do one more event.
Okay.
Oh.
Lhito, you start.
Whoops! You feel a body under your foot. Before you can leap away from it, you're knocked over. A giggling voice runs away from you. 2.
Actually, real quick, let's each do 2 events, but whoever draws it, only they answer.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Do you have any memorable deaths? Also, -1 physical.
Fine. Deaths. I guess a lot of the times, if I have a memorable death, it's when I get like one shot as the traitor, because you got all this power, you're the big bad, and then someone just walks up to you like Ox Bellows over here with a spear, and then just stabs you and it's over, and you have to save face and not act like you're crying inside.
Wait, no. Deidra, you go now.
Okay. Webs. Casually, you reach up to brush some webs aside, but they cling. But they won't go away. They cling. 19.
19? You get caught in some webs. -2 speed, +1 sanity. Because you made it through the webs.
What? Oh, God. Okay.
And if you hit bottom on something, you have to take 1 to...
Yep.
Okay.
I'm super close.
All right,
Okay.
me. Groundskeeper. You turn to see a man in groundskeeper clothing. He raises his shovel and charges. Inches from your face, he disappears, leaving muddy footprints and nothing more.
Creepy.
24.
Spoopy.
What is your strategy when you play? +2 to any one stat.
No.
Heck yeah.
He always gets the pluses. You
Lucky.
notice
Got a
that?
little lucky there.
Yeah.
Hold on, real quick. I'm just gonna add it
That's
to
how it
my.
determines the luck. I see.
Gonna add
It's
it-
also
yeah,
in the
that's how
book,
that.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, so the strategy when I play, typically the very beginning, my strategy is explore as much as possible, as fast as possible, and hope that I get a ton of helpful, like, events, items, omens, whatever. Occasionally that will change. The main time it changes is if I get really, really fucked over, like early on, like if I lose like a ton of stats, then there are some rooms in the expansion specifically that if you end your turn there, you gain a stat. You gain +1 to that specific stat. So if I'm doing really bad or like kind of like borderline, whatever, and those rooms are already explored by other people, then I will prioritize going to find those rooms. After the haunt, my strategy kind of just depends on the haunt itself. If I'm really, really strong, either side, like whether I'm hero or in the haunt, I'll just go and try to tackle my objective as fast as possible. If I'm really, really weak, I do the opposite. I try to go and explore the rooms more to try to hopefully make myself stronger to then go and be able to solve the objective.
Yeah.
Okay, Deidra. Or wait, did you already go?
No,
Who wants
Lhito
to go?
goes next.
You want to go? Okay.
Well, as the token Asian child, my speed is pretty high. So I always zoom around and flit away, and I make sure to run away from where everyone else is going, because I don't trust nobody out here.
Okay.
And then, I just make sure to stay far away and see if I can make some interesting plans.
Okay. All
All
right.
right.
You
What
want
is
to pull
the
the next event?
that you
I
got?
already have one. Secret passage, secret tunnel. A section of the wall slides away. Behind it, a moldy tunnel awaits. 14.
14. Do you have any favorite rooms? Also, +1 might.
Ooh, yeah, boy. Fudge. So you already talked about the rooms that give you stats, but there's rooms that make you like perform checks to like open chests or stuff, and that's how you get a bunch of items, and that's how you buff yourself early on. So those are useful. I like those.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you want to go or do you want me to go?
I will go one more time.
Okay.
All right. Oh, God. Funeral. You see an open coffin. You're inside it. 23.
Ooh, spoopy.
Is it
What?
easier for the traitor or for others to win? So is it easier for the traitor or easier for the heroes?
I know we've talked about this before. From my experiences, it's been easier for the heroes. The traitor seems like they have so much against them just based on how many other people are playing against them, and like they're able to have more intel of what other people are trying to add in for information and like scheming of, oh, if this happens, maybe we could do this, or maybe we could do this if this happens. Where the traitors, that's only what they come up with. So to me,
Okay.
yeah, being against the traitors way easier.
You also get either -1 to mental and +1 to physical, or +1 to mental and -1 physical. So basically, you can move one from one side to the other side.
Okay.
All right, I will do last event of our game. The Lost One. A woman wearing a Civil War dress beckons to you. You fall into a trance. 8. Who is your favorite companion? The madman, the dog, or the girl? Mine is probably the dog, because you get to control it, and it can go and run and grab items for you and stuff like that. The madman can kind of mess with you because he like lowers your sanity, but I think increases your knowledge or something like that. But anyway, oh wait, I actually have them right here. It's oh no, okay, you gain might, but you lose sanity. So like it's a give and take thing where like the dog is just like the benefit you get is higher. So that's my favorite. And +1 sanity.
Okay.
Okay, so we have hit the haunting point.
Bro, the game just started. Holy fudge.
Uh-huh.
We're on
So
our last drink.
we're going to decide who is the betrayer.
Okay.
Do you guys want to quick explain in the actual game how that works?
I don't remember.
Do you want to explain? Lhito?
Like how the traitor is chosen?
Yeah. Just like how those differences like happen and stuff.
Well, like haunts happen based on like the number of omens that are drawn, and then specifically the final omen that triggers, where like the whoever rolls and fails, the omen roll fails, the room they're in and the omen that triggered it. You look through the book and there's like tons of different combinations of what happens and what haunt happens. The traitor is different, like haunt by haunt basis. I don't know if there's like a rhyme or reason.
Interesting. So the traitor is different off of different circumstances.
Yeah.
I don't like that tone of voice of yours.
Betrayal.
No.
We have been led into a trap. But who or what led us here? All right. Check your omen cards. Does anyone have
Omens?
the omen card specifically?
Okay.
Does anyone have the bite, the spear, and the skull?
All three.
I have the
have
skull.
All
one.
3. Okay.
Wait, yeah, we all have one of them. What do you
Okay,
mean?
no, that's fine. That's fine. Does anyone have the spirit board, the crystal ball, and the holy symbol?
I have the crystal ball.
I
Okay.
also have one.
Does anyone have the madman, the dog, and the girl?
No.
No.
All right. Then we move on to the next set of criteria.
Okay.
So, for a little background, like peel behind the curtain, if someone had one of those combinations, they were instantly the betrayer.
Ooh.
Okay.
But in this case, we keep going.
Okay.
Who would like, one of you two decide who would like to draw the next omen card? Just flip it face up, not in front of you. Deidra?
I guess.
No, omen, not event.
Omen.
The
Sorry.
spoopy green ones.
Spirit board.
Ooh.
The spirit board. All right. Who has the highest combined mental stats?
I'm at an 8.
I'm at a 4.
I'm at a 7.
Oh fudge.
Lhito is the betrayer.
Nani?
Dun dun dun!
Who would have guessed
Here
the
we
small
go.
little boy became a
right.
big bad problem?
Welcome back once again. I have made our last drink. As you can see, Lhito.
Yes, as all our listeners can see.
Okay, I get that. As you can hear, Lhito. Yeah, good point. Lhito betrayed me and Deidra. Deidra and I each have one large dollop of something on our drink. That's where you have to take your first sip.
From the dollop?
The big dollop of a thing. We'll take it in a second. We'll take it in a moment.
Can I describe it?
Yes. Describe the look.
Okay,
Describe
you
it.
describe it.
Both of their drinks are in Stranger Things cups, and that dollop of something looks like it's straight from the upside down, like some black viscous goo.
I was gonna say it kind of looks like almost like chocolate syrup, but really really thick. And I don't think it's chocolate.
Describing it. I'll be right.
Okay, I don't think it's chocolate syrup. It looks like almost like taffy.
Ah, it's definitely sticky looking.
Like liquid, sticky taffy. Oh, God. He just brought out a bucket.
It's a puke bucket. Barf bucket time. So I'm glad I have my drink, which doesn't have that.
I think for another thing that we talked about off camera is one inspiration for this is from the YouTube.
Set it by Deidra.
Oh God, the YouTube.
I feel like I can deal with it more just knowing what it is.
Series channel Smosh. They do a show called Eat It or Eat It, where their cook makes different items and changes things and stuff to make it either really good, really bad, so they can either eat it or yeet it into a bucket.
So I grabbed us a yeet bucket.
I currently have a yeet bucket next to me, and that makes me really scared.
Okay, real quick. So Lhito described our drinks. His drink looks like a very red drink.
Well, they all look very red.
Orangish brownie.
But I'm just describing his.
Okay.
He has a very red drink that as it rises to the top, it gets a little more orange, a little less, a little more see-through, a little less thick. That's probably just due to the ice. And he has a very, a salt-rimmed glass. We also have salt-rimmed glasses, but there's something else under the salt. I won't say what.
Okay.
Now,
I think by looking at this, I can tell what drink it is. But
do we want to take a sip?
Yes.
Well,
Or do you want to describe it more first?
Oh, I want to drink this thing. Let's go.
I don't know. I think we
Deidra?
pretty described it. I will hold back on what drink I think it is.
Okay. So again, for Deidra, you and I, we got betrayed by Lhito.
So do we have the same drink?
Deidra and I have the same drink. I'll tell you after we take a sip. One more fact. Again, take a sip from the really big.
I'm not clink. I don't want to touch your glass.
No, you and I clink. You and I clink.
It's me.
Oh, what is this? Okay.
And go.
I know what it is, but I'm fine with it.
Mine's supposed to be
Really?
like, hey, well, holy
It's
fudge,
so-
I don't like that.
It's so bitter, but I know what it is.
That's like
not as-
tomato juice? Is that tomato
No,
juice in
okay,
mine?
so
This actually works way better than I thought it would.
I know why. Okay, so
I hate tomato
my
juice.
theory, tomato juice, it's a Bloody Mary. This is Vegemite.
Yes, it is. Yep. Okay,
I
so
know
Vegemite
because
make
we
it better?
have
'Cause
it
I
in our
don't like
pantry.
weirdly enough, it actually works not that bad.
It works because it's like that savory, bitter kind of.
I thought it was going to be way overpowering, and that's why I brought the bucket just in case. I didn't know for sure.
I'm
I
fine
might
with
need the
it.
bucket.
Do you not like
You don't
Bloody
like
Marys?
Bloody-
I do not like
That's hilarious.
tomato
You
juice.
have the good drink.
Oh,
That's
is that
good.
Lhito's is the good drink. We
So,
got the bad drink. Do you
is-
want to know what's bad about ours?
Is it just the Vegemite or?
Or you go ahead. You were going to say something.
My lips are kind of tingly, so I'm guessing there's some sort of hot sauce in it too.
Keep talking. What were you?
I was gonna say, so fun fact, Zachary did not like bloodies before we started dating. I made a bloody and he said, "This is fantastic," and he's been a fan of them since. So I know that we got
No, that's yours.
I know that we got
Part of the
bloody
game.
mixtures. I didn't know that they were for this podcast episode for tonight. I thought that they were just gonna be casual. Oh, hey, I want to have bloodies soon. Yeah.
All right. So, as you guessed, we all have Bloody Marys. However, so Lhito's is a normal Bloody Mary. The way that Deidra taught me to make it is vodka, clamato juice, zing zang, and
Pickle
Can I
juice.
just take shots of vodka and pickle juice
the
instead?
pickle juice is the part that I forgot earlier when I was like, oh shoot, this is off camera. I was
hate
like, oh crap.
pickles too.
So
This
I came
drink is
over and
everything
added
I
that.
hate.
So that's yours. But
It's
you
just a normal
betrayed
one?
us.
Okay.
So what we got?
What do I have to suffer when I'm the winner? Come on.
What we
No,
got is
apparently.
the same thing, only I also added a half shot of tequila,
Okay.
Vegemite around the outside, and specifically the dollop was supposed to be just the worst possible, like the most concentrated amount of Vegemite for your first sip.
Makes sense.
And then and both of them were salt rimmed. And then I also added a ton of Tabasco. Well, not a ton, but a good amount of Tabasco to yours and mine.
Okay. Which.
So they're spicy. Which I know that they're spicy drinks sometimes, but
Yeah. A typical bloody will have some sort of like hot spice.
not
to
gonna
it.
lie, I added
but-
less than I thought I did. I thought that I added a lot
Okay.
more after tasting it. I'm like, oh, I should have added
Lhito
more.
does not like this. At
It's just
all.
really funny because he was supposed to have the good one,
That was
and
hate
we were
that.
supposed to have the
Which-
bad one,
that-
and we like it more.
I've actually never had a Bloody Mary before, and now I never want one
really?
again. Yeah.
Okay.
Because
the
I know
other
I don't
thing-
like tomato juice.
Okay, the other thing though too, clamato specifically, it's not just tomato juice.
Oh, the Vegemite
It
is
has
weird.
clam juice in it that adds like a little bit like of a deeper flavor. Not of tomato flavor, but just like
Like the clammy flavor.
You trying to sell me on this or make me hate it more?
it's supposed to be like the best way to
God,
make
my
a
lips
bloody.
sting.
Yeah, I was gonna
The,
say
the
it's-
heat
the
isn't that bad.
spice
It's
is
more just on the
there.
lips is what the worst
Yeah.
part. Yeah.
We're not the best with spice.
No,
I'd
yeah.
rather
We're
take
really
spice than
white.
tomato juice.
Okay,
I
but
don't care.
the other thing is I knew that you and I had it while making it. So I tried to put a lot to what I thought was a lot. And again, I wish I put more because I wanted it to be bad. And it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
It's definitely spicy, but and then that Vegemite hits with like a different.
Oh, also,
bitter.
for you and I, we have to keep drinking, continue turning. Because that's how you get the Vegemite.
I specifically went to a spot that didn't have
I know.
much.
I know.
I thought you said you liked it.
But that's what we
I do,
failed.
but it-
We got betrayed. And see, okay, so my idea here was my idea for the drink was that
is really
I was
the
going
worst
to give
version.
you a good drink and us a drink that just tasted bad. Not like alcohol was bad, just absolutely just tasted bad. Again, kind of failed a little bit. I thought it was going to be worse. But my thought was it would turn the people that got the betrayed drink against the one that betrayed them. However, in a weird way, it kind of did the opposite here because you just don't like.
Okay.
Another behind the scenes thing. You know how I told you guys before filming this that there was one specific thing I wanted to happen?
Yeah.
Do you want to know what it was?
Sure.
Yeah. Was it an event?
So, I wrote down a whole list of different things. So these omen cards, there's 13 omens altogether. I have 3, Deidra has
to
3,
drink it.
Lhito, yes we do. Lhito has 3. And then there's 4 left in this pile.
Okay.
The betrayer was determined by the last omen card pulled. So when Lhito flipped the spirit board to determine who was the betrayer,
Deidra.
that was when we went off of the highest mental. And that was Lhito by like a long shot. But there were some in here. One of them was no matter what, Deidra is it. One of them is no matter what, I'm it. One of them is no matter what, Lhito's it. But my favorite, by far, is if the skull was pulled, which I knew couldn't happen after you
After I
had drawn
pulled
it. If the skull was pulled, no one was the betrayer, and it was like a you versus the house thing.
house.
All of us would have had the worst possible drink, and that's what I wanted to have
I
happen.
hate
So-
it either way.
Okay, so I know you obviously have talked about what's in the drink and what makes our drink, quote, bad is the Vegemite and the hot sauce. After drinking it now, and it's not that bad, what would you add to make this
Make it worse?
Wasabi.
Lhito, ooh, to make
Okay.
it like just super extra spicy.
If you like rim it with wasabi,
oh
yeah.
god,
Here's a
you
thought,
would
here's a
die.
What if you'd made a wasabi and Vegemite mix to put on the outside? So you get that like really bitter,
Bitter.
really like overly savory taste, as well as that just like sinus clearing, like
Just nuke that sinus.
yeah.
Huh. Okay, that would definitely make it really
And
bad.
then the other thing that I would have done is roughly twice the amount of Tabasco that I put in it.
I think adding something completely opposite of the drink, like some sort of fruit mix or like a fruit juice or something, would like completely counteract how savory a Bloody Mary is.
I think I would have liked that more.
But
Actually,
For you, yeah.
Can I take a
What
shot?
if- what
I'll
if
take
it
shots
was-
of Tabasco.
Here,
if I don't
okay,
have
do you want to
what
taste
if-
mine?
No.
Okay.
It's
What
more
if-
tomato juice.
what if you added like think about orange juice in this?
That might help, yeah.
It might help.
Yeah.
Okay, I
That's
guess that's
awful.
your personal
Anything
opinion,
is better
but-
than tomato juice. Ooh.
Okay.
Okay, that's fair
What-
though. If you don't
besides-
like it because of that, that's okay.
Besides, for you being like the betrayer and quote having the, I guess, easier time with this, what
So much easier. Yep, that's me.
besides getting rid of the tomato
It almost
juice,
made me choke on this.
besides getting rid of the tomato juice, like if it was a bloody and you were just handed this, what would you make it like better?
If it had to be a bloody
If
either
it
way,
had to be a bloody.
I want from fried chicken. I want like the deep fat
Oh, like-
foods.
like-
Oh, like the
Like,
giant skewers, the
Top it with
Wisconsin
all the stuff. Yeah.
backroads
Ooh,
bar.
mozzarella sticks. Yeah.
No, cheese curds.
We are in Wisconsin. Yes.
Cheese
Okay, no, let's
curds.
go.
Yeah.
You can get. I know there's bars that do like burger sliders.
Oh, wait, that sounds awesome.
You can do pickled meat sticks,
Can I
like
have some egg rolls with
cheese.
this?
Yes.
We will have
Well,
it.
we can have it after. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I'd also mention specifically I chose the Bloody Mary because it just felt very thematic. Like, do you guys know the whole thing of like you go in the bathroom in the whole dark and you look in the mirror and you say Bloody Mary 3 times and then she appears in the mirror. Like
Yeah.
that whole weird superstition thing.
I'd rather have that than drink her. Yes.
Fair. But so I was just thinking like of that and I was like, oh, that kind of fits the whole like horror theme and I don't know. That's why I thought that would be a good base drink. And then again, I was trying to make our drinks worse. I don't think they're like I don't think they're amazing. Like I don't think they're great, but I don't think they're bad. You already asked me, but I wish that these were worse. But altogether, I thought that specifically Bloody Mary fit like a good like bloody thematic.
I think that for this group specifically, if Lhito had been on the group that got betrayed,
Sure.
it would have been worse for him.
Is Vegemite that bad?
It's not
Here,
great.
do you want to
So-
just
okay.
like
So
taste some of the rim
Australian.
itself? That's plenty.
Kind of like soy sauce.
It has that like very like savory, salty.
Okay, so just for people that haven't had it, Vegemite is obviously for anyone that knows, like it's a very big thing in Australia and kind of around the area, like New Zealand and whatnot. But anyways, the flavor is holy poop. You're just going ham.
I have to drink from multiple.
Those two are going hard here. But so Vegemite is a very, very savory, bitter flavor. I think it's very good in very, very small proportions.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say you've mentioned this where a lot of people use Vegemite in the like wrong way. Where they get Vegemite expecting it to be something like peanut butter or jam that you spread on toast, where it's like, no, do like the thinnest amount because it's so overpowered in its flavor and savoriness, where you need just a little bit and you get like its full power, where when you do way too much, that's why people don't like it.
That's why it's, quote, bad. So I think it's good if you know how to use it, but specifically for these drinks, I tried to overuse it. Again, I don't think I fully succeeded, but I think the idea of just overusing something that is a very strong flavor is a good way to make something good bad.
Which, I mean, I will say if anyone comes up with a bad way on their own of how to make this bad, please let us know. Let us know how you made a bad bloody.
No, I'm good. They're already bad.
Okay.
For
tell
someone
two bloody lovers
Yeah.
how to make a bad bloody. And
Bad.
yeah,
so we can punish our
bloody.
other friends and family and have them
Haven't I suffered
suffer
enough?
as much as Lhito suffered with a normal bloody that we call a good.
I'm going to throw it into the description, but if anyone wants, you can either send an email to it's dangerous to go alone at gmail.com, or you can find me at on Instagram at it's dangerous to go alone drink this. Oh, sorry. It's dangerous to go alone drink this at gmail.com, or on Instagram at it's dangerous to go alone drink this. Lhito was attempting to chug his drink. But anyways, yeah, send any feedback there. If you find drinks or think of drinks or ways to make this worse, that would be great. I think that I kind of failed at making it terrible. I didn't make it great, but it's definitely not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
I was going to say, I think for maybe Lhito, if he would have had this, it's a possibility he would hate it worse. So, I mean, you tasted the Vegemite. Now think of the bloody plus spicy plus the Vegemite. Do you
I don't think I would have cared.
Okay.
It's just the tomato
It's just the
juice that's
tomato.
killing
That's
me.
fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
All right. So
Wait.
we have,
I just had an idea.
yeah.
Oh, no.
On a way to make it worse. Specifically, mostly for the people that don't like tomato juice, but slightly for other people too. I don't think this would taste good. A shit ton of ketchup.
That would give it like a
True.
sweet tartness. I think that might be good.
I was just going to say add the Vegemite, but instead of salt, with sugar.
Oh.
That could super counteract like the,
That could be like a
super
weird flavor
salty
profile
and,
type. Yeah.
like,
I don't know. As a
sweet.
home chef, salty and sweet go very
I mean, they
well
do
together.
go, but
Yeah.
but
But
do
it's also really bitter. Think if you had like coffee with shit. I was gonna say
Not
coffee
coffee
with
with
sugar,
sugar.
but then I was like, wait, that's good. That's
Like-
I don't know. I feel like this
I
is
guess
more
maybe
difficult
not.
than I first thought.
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know.
Also, I will say like the heat. Like so, I've had hot bloodies before, but I've never made one before. I've only had them at restaurants, and they basically tasted like this,
Yep.
like the actual drink itself. So like, I didn't add nearly as much Tabasco as I should have to make it way too hot. But like, if it was too hot, like if it was hotter, I think that would be a good way to like make it quote bad. The only thing with hotness is I think that everyone's tolerance is a little bit different, so it's hard to tell like where that line is, you know?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I definitely agree. I think that a lot more hot sauce would make this work, especially for us who we both of us don't have a super high spice tolerance, but I think that for this specific drink, it could be pretty bad, just depending on how spicy you make it.
Also, getting into the background of just alcohol again. So there's a Bloody Mary, right, made with vodka. There's a Bloody Maria made with tequila instead of vodka. This is kind of like a weird bastardization where it's mostly vodka with a little bit of tequila. Again, I didn't like taste this enough beforehand, like in testing, to know how much tequila would make it bad. But I think that if there was more tequila plus the same amount of vodka, it would be just too boozy, and that would make it a little weird.
So you said a Bloody Mary and a Bloody Maria. Is this a Bloody Marie?
Oh, I like that.
Because it's Australian.
I'm going to use that
No,
as
I was going to say Bloody Mary with only vodka, Bloody Maria with tequila,
Okay.
Bloody Marie.
Okay, I see where you're going here.
Okay,
I'm scooping
we
what you're
made our own
pooping.
drink.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to... So, for the other two drinks, I thought of my own names for them. For this one, I didn't have anything, so that works.
Okay.
I'm going to
Cool.
use that.
All right. Okay, so we have a few different like other events. I know like behind the scenes, you had mentioned a few of them just only cause difference to our stats.
Yeah, we don't have to go through all of them.
But like I don't know what other.
Maybe I could
things
just
did you
quickly
have
look
to
through
talk
this
about?
and see if there's any things that we missed.
Did our stats matter at all? Do I do anything with it?
Okay, good question. So the stats specifically mattered to figure out who the betrayer was. So in this case, it actually really mattered because it was the highest mental like total. But so I had different ones. There was one for just it was gonna be Deidra no matter what. There was one for me no matter what. There was one for Lhito no matter what. There was one for no one no matter what. So all of us would have the bad drink. But then there was the highest of this stat, the lowest of that stat, stuff like that. But then the three that I thought were most interesting were I had the last to read an event was going to be it. Or if there was some sort of weird tie situation or whatever, it was going to be whoever had the highest might. Then it was, which I don't know how you would tie that, but just like a weird in case. And then it was whoever had the most bad drinks was going to be it.
Oh, like the most like
From the
quote,
from the previous ones of like the you know you get whoever was the most unlucky was going to be it, or the lowest mental if there were two people that tied.
Okay.
So like you would take the two that tied and go between them who had the lowest mental. Then there was who predicted the most correct. So when we predicted at the beginning who was going to be the most unlucky versus who was going to be the most lucky, it was whoever predicted correct was going to be it. Or if there was a tie, it was going to be the highest sanity between those two or three or whatever.
Okay, that makes sense.
So now to explain these markings I made on the event cards, the pluses were plus to your luck and the minuses were a minus to your luck. So it was when you lost a stat or if you gained a stat. And then also on top of that, I was going to add in if you failed rolls for drinks or if you succeeded in rolls for drinks. And we already kind of talked about it here, but so the very first drink, or the very, very first drink was all of us do it together. The second drink was there's one good option, one bad option. The second one was there's one good option, one bad option, one really bad option. And again, like I tried to make these like not too bad. And then the betrayer was, supposedly supposed to be just the worst possible drink. But again, kind of failed at that, but that's okay.
Wait, the betrayer was
the betrayer. So my idea was that the betrayer has the good drink while everyone else has a really, really, really bad drink so that you get this little bit of resentment against the betrayer. So
okay.
Now knowing that Lhito doesn't like Bloody Marys. Okay, if people could see his face,
he is just like, you think like a yuck face or like a
more than that though.
It's like I'm just chugging straight tomato juice. I'd rather chug vodka. Hit me with the hard stuff,
really?
please. Yes.
We can do that later. That's up to you.
Okay, wait. Confirm it right now in front of all the people listening to this. Next time you're on the podcast, to start the podcast, you'll take a shot of vodka.
Yeah, I'll do that. Sure.
All right.
It beats this. I'll do that if I don't have to drink any kind of tomato juice like this. I'll take whatever else you got.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, whatever else I
Pinky
got?
promise.
Whatever else you got.
Malort it is.
Oh, I'm okay with Malort. I'll take
Hey.
it. I'm the one who brought you Malort.
You've
What do you
seen this.
mean?
Everyone here that listened/saw, you're all
It's
witnesses.
happening.
Help us hold him accountable.
Okay.
So the next one that happens,
So
that Lito's a part of.
anyways, what other things did you have to talk about with
Sure,
the game
sure.
or any aspects we didn't talk about or
Yeah, I think that we covered, honestly, like a very, very widespread because so I had a lot of things written down of like conversation starters and whatnot. And I think that we covered a lot while talking about other things. Honestly, one of the only ones I'm like just looking at is just about the items. Like, do you recall any like memorable items or favorite item usages or anything like that?
So, I will say, for me personally, I remember in the game that we played where we were against the house as the haunt, or like, and the traitor, our friend Soul, she had the most items I think I've ever seen. Which she had like, I don't know, like 10 different cards in front of her. And that just felt like a lot. And I know I think that was her first time playing.
Yes. Yeah.
So she didn't really know what to do with those or like anything like to try to like, I guess, give herself a bigger advantage with those items. But I mean, that's just kind of what you get by playing the game more. You learn more, you experience more like of the haunts and how they work and being a traitor and how like that works with your items and how other people can work against you with the items. But so I think that for her, she was just kind of like, oh, I have these items. That's really cool. Where I feel like most of the time for me, I don't get a lot of items. I don't know what I do wrong to not get items or what, but
You're just bad. It's okay.
it's fine. It's fine.
Okay. I was gonna say you're just unlucky because I think that a lot of the items come from the rooms specifically. There's a few that you can get from like events, but more often than not, you're going to get an item from finding a room that has items in it, or like a way to get items. And I think that that's the biggest thing that maybe you're missing is just like literally just being unlucky. The other thing is there is the safe that will have 2 items in it, but you have to have a knowledge roll. And again, that's another reason that Jordan really liked playing the knowledge heavy characters because anytime we'd run into that, so like obviously you're not going to run into it every game, but if you play like 3 games in a row, there's a chance that you'll run into it at least once. And so if he sees that, then he can have a much better chance at making that knowledge roll and then getting 2 items instead of 1. So there's like a few things you can kind of tweak for it, but a lot of it, at least for like items and omens and stuff, honestly, a lot of this game is just random chance, luck, that type of thing.
Okay.
But yeah. Okay, so another thing, you already touched on this, but so there were 2 questions that I'll kind of roll into one. So it's what are the major differences between this versus Legacy? And the other question was what makes this game replayable? I know that you mentioned Legacy, like you said a lot of the differences already. So maybe more if we focus on what makes this game replayable and why Legacy's more replayable. Or maybe not more replayable, but if you think it's more replayable or not.
I think they're about the same level. Okay, actually, Legacy might be less replayable, depending on how you look at it. Yeah.
Interesting.
So, like, the first couple of times you play, you don't have access to a lot of the house. It's very enclosed, but what you gain instead is, like, a solid story that actually builds upon itself as you play, and depending on the actions you take, the story branches in different directions. You rip certain cards that you can never use again. It has NPCs, essentially.
Really?
Yeah, so there could be a butler, there could be the chef, and depending on what happens in your actions, they did do it. And in my game, he died, so
so he didn't
he'll never
do it anymore.
again.
In the dining room with the rope and
Colonel Mustard.
What?
Clue.
Oh, okay, yeah, maybe. But yeah, Legacy just has... It starts off not that replayable because there's not a lot. You're following a very strict story, but you build on it. And then eventually, after you finish your, 14 times playing the game, you finish the story, and then it's basically Betrayal with all the tweaks and different things that you've made along the way. Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
Question with the Legacy, is it more of like, kind of like, I know I haven't played it, but you've talked about it, Zach, where...
I've never played it either. But
No,
just
but...
for people listening.
But sidetrack with time stories, where with that you specifically want to try to play with the same people. Essentially,
that gets a little...
I know.
Yeah.
I know, but is Legacy sort of like that, where you want to try to play with the same people each time, who are like almost the same like characters or like person that they pick? is that what you kind of want to do with Legacy, is try to keep it almost the same each game you play, and it just kind of has like different events and different haunts and all that stuff that happens, or does it not really matter?
I have been doing it that way, where you play with the same people, because then everyone knows the backstory that built up to this point. But essentially how it works is there's 5 families that you get to name in the beginning. You get like this card and you can write your names. And every time you play, you write the new name of your character, their age, and they're like part of this family that has stake in this house, and they go there.
Interesting.
And after every game, you can either die, you cannot die. If you stay alive, then the next time you play, that same character could be coming back to the house from the family. And so you're playing them, but older, like maybe 5-10 years later.
Sure.
So like you're playing a lineage as opposed to a character. So you could have someone just hop in on the lineage and play their thing, but I've been playing just because everyone knows the backstory of a small little girl slaughtering everyone. As they do.
Kind of gives me like D&D vibes.
Yeah,
in a
actually.
way. Like, not obviously the exact same. God, excuse me. Not the exact same game or anything like that, but like just similar vibes where it's like you can make a character and then like say you want to move on to a new character. You can do whatever you want, but like if you wanted, that the new character could like somehow know the old character or like interact with them later, or the DM could be like, hey, I'm going to use your old character as an NPC now or something, like whatever it is. But like, that's a thing that happens. Like, well, I don't know. It just kind of gives me those vibes.
In general, I just consider Betrayal to be budget D&D anyways.
Fair.
Like you get your character, it builds a story for you, and you all play, you have stats.
Yeah, and it's different every time you play, and how you play and what you kind of add, and like the omens and the events you get. Like you can go down so many different paths. So
one thing I literally just thought of was I don't think we really mentioned, but Betrayal has a lot of like Lovecraftian sort of horror type aspects to it, where there's a lot of like psychological horror and these like just unspeakable, unknowable type beings and stuff, and as well as just like regular like demons or witches or whatever. Like there's some very classic horror in it, but there's also a lot of just Lovecraftian type feel to the game. But yeah. Okay, so I did have one other question that I noticed we didn't really fully talk about, and okay. If in real life we went into like a mansion like this,
I die. That's it. I walk through the door, I just die. It's over.
okay.
Not the question. Who of us 3 in real life would be the traitor?
Oh, not me. No.
You think Deidra? Lhito thinks Deidra.
Okay, Lhito thinks... No. I want to hear what you say.
I thought both of you guys were going to immediately say me, so I'm glad that you didn't say.
Okay, so...
She's been asking me to chug this tomato.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Okay, so I would 100% say not me, because
Way to go.
I am one person
Lhito, finish his drink.
to stick with other people and like follow along what they do while adding in like my own opinions and like what I see from what's happening.
But what if you
events.
were doing that to like lead us astray? What if you started off by doing that and then later you're like,
see, I think this is the ploy. She's acting all innocent and cutesy, and then she'll just
there you go.
Okay, so say like Among Us. Going in as knowing I'm the imposter, I have a completely different view of how I'm playing the game versus if I'm just a normal person in the game trying to figure out who the imposter is. So if I go in knowing one of us could be the betrayer, I'm going to try, personally, I'm going to try to make all the friendships and companions and like allies that I can, and like try to, I guess, figure out ways to get the best weapons and the most stats and everything, so that no matter what, whether I'm the betrayer or part of like the hero team, I just want to be able to do what I can to face it. So I would say personally, I'm a team player. I'm not.
If I had a drink, I'd spit it out right now.
I would rather be with other people than by myself because that's kind of scary for me. But I can see how you might see it the other way.
Okay, so I got 2 questions for you. 1, who is your vote for the 3 of us? Who would be the betrayer?
Lhito.
Whoa.
No, wait. No. Sadly,
That's racist.
No.
That was so fast.
That's discrimination.
No, I'm
Not necessary-
false. I hate to say it, but Zachary, you play other people so well. I remember going back to Among Us. I remember one of the times when we first started talking and started getting to know each other. He played me so well.
Oh, it was so
and
easy
it was
because I knew you didn't know.
Casual about how he went through everything. And now knowing that information, he will use that against other people to play against them and basically rethink everything about whatever is happening and get it to persuade another person to get on his side of his team and be oh, but this isn't actually what's happening, just to make them believe he's not what he actually is. So he is so good at basically putting a sheet over himself and being haha, I'm a ghost, but under the ghost it's just an evil demon monster.
The old man across the lane.
Yeah. So yeah, Zachary, I'm sorry.
Okay. So then, wait. Quick second question for you specifically. You said that you were going to be a team player, not on the bad team, whatever. If you were the betrayer in real life, how would you go about betraying us?
Oh God, are we talking basically putting ourselves into the game, or
Yeah. So the 3 of us enter
Okay.
this old creepy mansion together. We're hey, this would be fun. Let's go check it out. It's gonna be creepy and that's what's gonna be fun. And then we get in there, but you have an ulterior motive. We think that that's all that's going on.
Wait.
You have an ulterior motive the entire time. How would you do it?
Okay, from the beginning, I basically know I'm the betrayer.
Well, okay, so
Kind of
the story of the
Among
game,
Us or Secret Hitler, where I know something beforehand.
so the story of betrayal is obviously no one knows who the betrayer. The players don't actually know who the betrayer is until the time of the haunting begins.
Sometimes not even then.
True. But during the haunt, there will be a little bit of flavor text for the betrayer as well as for the other side. And sometimes it'll say stuff oh, you led this group here so that you could kill them all or sacrifice them to this demon or whatever, something along those lines. So I'm thinking let's say going into it that you're leading us here for some nefarious reason. How do you do it? Knowing that you would rather be the team player.
God.
I'm curious how you would.
He just wants to know for the future, just not fall for it.
Okay, we're never playing Among Us again. So basically, I try to almost put on a costume or a character to try to make myself and make others believe I am who I'm not. So oh, I'm just an innocent little girl, or
It's always
but you know that a little girl wouldn't be for you someone who you could trust. So I would just kind of be either who I am specifically, either Jenny Leclerc or Heather Granville, or maybe Vivian Lopez or Madame Zostra. Just because those are pretty medium characters, and so I'd be oh, I'm not anyone special Ox Bellows, or I wouldn't try to stick out in any way. I just kind of hide in the crowd, say what I need to say when I need to say it, do what I need to do to basically throw off my scent. Personally, that's how I play most things. Is I just kind of camouflage my way into the majority of people and like how you like how the good people would play it. That's my way of playing most like I guess like betrayal games or like imposter syndrome people. I just try to hide with the other people instead of more like speaking out and being against that person where like you're trying to lie too much. I'll just try to like stay behind the shadows and be like, yeah, I'm here, but you might not know something about me. So
more just like being like a silent killer. Almost.
Yeah. Almost like you know the game Frogger? Like, did you ever not
You ever heard a game called Frogger? Back in my day.
I know what you're talking about, but all I can think of is the arcade.
Not like the arcade video game Frogger, but like a group game that you would
it's
play.
Just Mafia
That you would play at like camp or.
It was like little kid Mafia.
I used to teach like after school children at like a childcare center. So they were a lot like older, like kindergarten to like 5th grade. So they were able to play like more complex games. So Frogger, you sat in a circle. One person was the Frogger like killer, and one person in the center was the detective. And they had to stick their tongue out, just like Zachary is sticking his tongue out at me. The person that sees the Frogger stick their tongue out, only one person can be the Frogger. Sorry, Lhito, Zachary started. The person that is the Frogger, they stick their tongue out. Someone then has to die dramatically. The detective in the center has to figure out who the Frogger is. So like you kind of like slide your way like into like deceiving the detective. So if you're not the Frogger, you're almost trying to get the detective to guess you, because then they guess the wrong person and they only get, in Frogger specifically, they get like 3 guesses or something until they lose.
Wait, so everyone's technically against the detective then?
No, everyone that's not the Frogger doesn't want to die.
As most people
Weird.
do, yes.
I'm
surprised.
And so they
I've never not wanted to die.
But
Wow.
they're also in that weird sense kind of waiting for the Frogger to look at them and make eye contact and have the Frogger stick their tongue out at them.
Well, because other people might notice it too.
Exactly. So then if you across from the circle see someone else die, you might be like, okay, I'm just gonna kind of like awkwardly like stare at other people and not look at that person so I don't die. But then like I just personally, so like in that situation, I try to play into the people and try to like work with the person you're going against. And so then when I'm the person that everyone else is going against, I try to like fit in. So
typical middle schooler. Nice. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Middle school strats. I just wanted to point out, my family has played Frogger while eating dinner sometimes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
On a
You're just
side note,
like in the middle of dinner, somebody's just like, because you pretend to be dead, so you're just like, ugh. And like everyone else is like, what the heck? Oh, so we're playing Frogger. Like,
for anyone who has not heard this yet, Zachary's family, they have 6 people in it. His mom, his dad,
4
and
siblings.
Then he is one of 4
4
siblings.
Kids all together.
So it's a decent enough team to play Frogger with, especially 'cause everyone in the family jokes and they have fun, and they've played pranks on people who have like been guests at their house.
Oh my
just
God.
Just for fun.
Yeah.
We can get into that later.
We can do that another time, but yeah, there's some
That's
good
a
ones.
whole podcast.
Basically,
right
so in that situation, instead of being, I wouldn't want to be the guest because that's like the traitor that's going against the other people. I would want to be like, try to sneak myself like into the other people that are trying to play against that person.
That's what she said.
By like, by trying to like camouflage my way in. Basically, that's how I would try to play things. So.
Okay, I got 2 things I wanted to point out. Right?
Yes.
1, you mentioned earlier, never trust the girl.
A little girl.
The little girl.
I'm
The little
short.
girl.
And Deidra does happen to be short.
The
She
little
is a
girl
little girl.
omen. If we had pulled it, it was going to be just whoever had the highest physical.
Okay.
But I wish I would have known before, like while making this, that you hated it so much, because then I would have made that your specific, like your it.
Yes.
Because so here's the second thing is so everyone's specific omen that if it was pulled up, it was going to be just them as the betrayer. Lhito's was the medallion because I felt like that kind of fit your personality. Like I don't know,
It's the last one.
It felt like a very like I don't know how to phrase this.
Am I a Satanist?
Lhito, no. So
No,
Lhito has
like-
Lhito
like-
has very much like when playing games and you're trying to win versus like kind of like, oh, I'm accepting that I'm losing. Lhito has very much like a pride of no, I'm going down with my
Pride might
honor.
be a good way to
I
put it.
am going to
Maybe.
Like
I'm
honor
going
and
to
pride, I
I'm
think
going
is
to
a-
sacrifice everything so that I can win.
I consider it chaos. I
I-
like playing exactly the same way every time. So whether I'm good or bad, I'm just making things worse for everyone else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's fair. And then for Deidra, it was bite because
Who
you
has that?
bite
No,
just
Lhito
a
has
lot in
I
general.
do have bite, yes.
Oh, that's just an ADHD
Why am I sitting
thing.
next to
Yeah.
you?
And then mine was spear because
You have it.
literally because it's just my favorite omen.
But like if he was the last one.
No, but not
Oh.
to have. It was if it was
The-
pulled as the last.
Okay,
Oh, I
that makes
flicked
sense.
off some of the salt.
My
on yours.
salt,
There's
dude.
lots of salt on the table.
But anyways, okay. So those are the
Salty
two things
much?
I was gonna point out. I just noticed you have your thing. Do you wanna, Lhito? What? There's multiple different ways. there's so many different ways that this game can go. But at the end of the day, who are the real monsters?
Oh, well, totally didn't write this down beforehand because I want to talk about it. But the real monsters were the people we met along the way.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Blackout.
I think that's pretty much it. Unless you guys had anything else you
No,
wanted to.
I think we did a very well description of how the game works, how we play it, how each of us have had different experiences. Because I
Yeah.
think that's the main point. Is that, like we said before, this game has so much replayability.
And it makes you hate some of your friends sometimes.
Just like Mario Kart.
Yeah. Or
But
like
worse.
Monopoly or Risk or yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's another podcast.
Yeah, we can talk about that. But anyways, yeah, no, feel free to just let us know like your specific experiences with the game. I would love for people to go try out the game themselves if you haven't tried it. It's a very, very fun game. Lhito, you mentioned it was your favorite game.
Oh, yeah.
It's definitely in my top 5.
Excuse me? Just top 5?
I don't have to get into it all now, but there's one game that I put above this, and this is either this is within my top 3 for sure. It's either 2 or 3. I don't know for sure, but I got to do some thinking afterwards. But anyways, one of my top games, super replayable, and like even if you get the exact same haunt and everything, like the rest of the game and the board and everything else is going to be different. So like there's just so much replayability. I love it. And it combines cooperativeness with competitiveness, and I love that too. Like there's just a hard shift in the game from being everyone kind of working together to all of a sudden there's 2 teams. But yeah, I don't know. I give this game a 10 out of 10. Like I highly recommend for anyone out there.
True.
Are you telling me
I mean,
it's
also
your
10 out
favorite
of 10.
game and you wouldn't
No,
give it a 10 out of 10?
But like the fact that you're giving it a 10 out of 10
Okay.
is the
Okay.
surprise Pikachu face.
Okay.
Okay, that makes sense. I think personally, I don't have enough experience to give it like the highest rating, but I will
All
say.
right, kick her off the podcast. We
Yep,
don't need
no,
this
not
negative
here.
energy.
Okay, my opinion doesn't matter. It's fine.
It doesn't.
No,
Carry on.
okay.
Oh, I was
What were
gonna
you-
say, I think out of the like strategy games I've played, I give it like at least like a 9.3. Like it's very high, which I will say personally, my family hasn't played a lot of strategy games. They're very simple. They're very much like a, hey, let's win this. Cool, we won. All right, let's replay it. kind of like Phase 10, Uno, like simple games where
More like tactical almost rather than strategic.
yeah. So this being one of the more strategic games that I've ever played, it's very, very interesting and very unique compared to everything else I've done. So,
Sure.
yeah, it's very fun.
Okay. Any other parting words?
A wawa wee wa.
All right. Well, thank you all for joining us. Thank you to Deidra and Lhito for joining me today. This has been It's Dangerous to Go Alone, Drink This. And cheers.
Not if it's a Bloody Mary.
And that is not only the end of Betrayal, but also of the first season. A huge thank you to Lhito and Deidra for being my final guests this season. Even though I was betrayed, I would still enjoy returning to the House on the Hill with both of you. And thank you to all of my other guests this season. I appreciate you all, and I really enjoyed all of our discussions. Once again, thank you to Soul and Michaela for creating the intro music and cover art. Soul can be found on Instagram at A Guitar in Love, and Michaela can be found on Instagram at MakerMick. I'd also like to thank each of you for listening to the show. Remember to like and follow the show for more content, as well as share the show with anyone you think might enjoy it. For updates on the show, as well as recipes for the drinks you see, follow me at Instagram at It's Dangerous to Go Alone, Drink This. If you have any suggestions for the show or just want to chat, I'm also available via email at itsdangeroustogolonedrinkthis@gmail.com. To support the show monetarily, head to Ko-Fi at ko-fi.com/itsdangeroustogolonedrinkthis. This really goes a long way in keeping the show running, and I really appreciate it. Thank you again, everyone. I'm in the process of creating some new content for Season 2, so be sure to watch your feeds around September-ish for an update. But until then, remember, it's dangerous to go alone. So drink this.
For babies, when they're just lying there, like the gas can't really like move.
Is that why I always have to shit so bad while running on a treadmill?
Probably. Did you record that?
Oh, yeah. This has been going for a while, and then I just got that going.
Oh, no.